You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's America's Got Talent After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's America's Got Talent After Show.
Hey guys, Bing is for doing, and we are here doing another AfterBuzz TV After Show for America's Got Talent. This is season 8 now?
7.
Season 7. One of the many episodes. Don't even know these days.
Oh, that's right.
We don't have it. But I'm Emile Ennis Jr.
Week 11, so we can do that.
Week 11.
Night 1 and 2. Okay.
There we go.
We got it, guys.
Got my co-host helping me out here because I'm lost.
Yeah, I'm not
That's
gonna
what we're here for. That's what we're here for.
But I'm Emile Ennis Jr. and I'm joined here with my two lovely co-hosts.
Good evening. We are Kaori, Takee, and
Kyra, Batte.
And we had a very exciting episode, probably one of the most exciting, I guess, quarterfinal episodes we've had out of all of it.
That was the best.
Yeah, and it kind of goes back to what you were saying, was it last week? Where you were questioning why they put so many bad acts in last week's performance, and then this week we had so many good acts. And it kind of sucks because, obviously, if some of these acts were last week, or in last week's performances, then they would have made it through as opposed to some of the ones. Like, I was telling Kaori, I don't remember half of the acts that went through last week.
so blown away by these acts that
Yeah.
we just couldn't remember.
And it kind of sucks because now when we see the okay, so it's quarterfinals. What does it go? Quarterfinals, now it's semifinals. Is that what it is?
That's
Okay,
right.
sorry, I don't know how it goes. But so now for the semifinals, it's #1. It's going to be really obvious he's going home really fast. And 2, now we don't get that suspense. We don't get the oh my god, everyone's so like this is the best episode. Why? Because everyone was so freaking good.
Right.
You know. So it kind of sucks because now you're going to kind of know who's going to go home and what have you. And I love how Howard says, "I want to talk to the producers. Were they drunk when they were setting up this time?" Yeah.
But
I don't get their strategy, but
on another note, it kind of goes back to what you were saying last week too. Even if those people were in another group, the best are still going to be or end up on top.
Yeah,
So,
I think so.
even though they might not necessarily have made it as far as they would have if they were in last week's performances, Joe Castillo and everybody else who made it through would still be on top because they were way above what everybody else was.
And you never can really predict voting America because America really surprises people like
Unless you're Eric
Idol,
Dittelman.
Jessica Sanchez, right? And then even Dancing with the Stars, sometimes like these horrible
'cause it
dancers
obviously
keep
should have
going
been
through.
Maria that one.
You know, so things are very unpredictable, especially when it comes to America.
Yeah. Well, let's see what talent we have last night. The first one was David Smith.
I bet you're so glad he didn't go through.
He was really
I'm
boring.
with you there. I mean, who
What? You're
cares?
agreeing with us?
Yes.
Score.
I mean, I agreed with this David thing from the get-go. He has nothing very interesting. I mean, it's amazing. It's not interesting. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, obviously, if you're there, I understand it's dangerous. I understand, you know, his a life or death situation, blah, blah. The thing for me that it wasn't the fact that it was necessarily boring. It literally lasts for 2 to 5 minutes at that. And if it's supposed to be a Vegas act, what is he going to do to make it last longer or keep us intrigued for that long? Who's going to pay? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, is he just going to keep going through cannons?
well, he
upon
did
cannons?
Right.
Yeah.
twice.
Until he dies.
Whatever. I mean, I am just as entertained watching a cartoon do that than
Yeah.
watching him do it. You
Yeah.
know?
And I think it's one of those things. I agree. I can respect that it's dangerous, but as far as talent, it's really the cannon that's kind of in preparation.
Right.
And
As
I
long
think
as
he
it's
kinda-
aimed in the right way and
he knows what to do, then yeah. And the whole like cheerleading. I mean, at
Yeah.
least he themed it, but I thought I didn't really like the cheerleading
Yeah.
thing. But that's just me.
I'm sure it's amazing in real life. I'm sure, but fact is, too bad America's watching it on television. And
Right.
Right.
lackluster.
But we'll talk about another act later where even though we're watching on television, we don't get the full experience. You can still tell that if you were there.
Oh,
in the,
it makes you want to be there. I know exactly which one you're talking about.
And how was he gonna do it inside, like in
I
a
know,
Vegas
I was thinking that
thing
too.
I think.
I mean, maybe
stadium.
he can do Vegas at a Circus. Maybe, and
Yeah.
he might have a shot even
Yeah.
without AGT.
Right. Because I was like, how was he gonna do that indoors?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't understand why he went through. I mean, he just wanted the acts where, you know, we could have done without him. And not saying that other acts deserve, like Big Buried. I'm saying that they deserve them even more. But this act for sure just wasn't.
I know. I just don't remember, but maybe he might be. He might have been on one of those nights where there weren't many good auditions. So
yeah.
I don't really recall, but
Was he in the danger category?
Yeah.
he wasn't. But I don't remember if he performed that night or I was.
He didn't.
I don't think he did. He was
Oh,
one
was
of
he
the
one of the
ones
ones who went through automatically?
Yeah, he was.
Okay, so yeah, that was poor decision.
I think that was
That's why.
he went automatically because it's like, what else are you gonna show us?
Right, and they already knew that.
They already knew that. And like, we'll give you one more shot. Moment of fame.
Yeah, and you really should have done what Sharon said with alligators and things.
Oh,
being
yeah, that
unfair
would've been
if
cool.
he was gonna do that.
But
Kind of.
even yeah, kind of cool. Because even if he did that, as long as it goes back to what you were saying, as long as the cannon is aimed perfectly, he's just gonna shoot over
Correct.
it. So
Mhm.
and it's still a short, super short act. So what could he do to really elevate this? Unless when he's getting shot, like they have the pool of alligators race, so they're like hopping up trying to get him while he's going or something like that.
Now we're doing video games right here, you know? I mean,
I don't know, but David Smith, thankfully, well not thankfully, he did not make it through, and good luck to him.
good luck to him. He'll be
So
fine.
he'll make it somehow.
Yeah.
All that cloggers.
I'll
I-
start with you since you're a fan.
I mean, I kept raving about it the whole time. The clogging was excellent. They were in sync, and they were hot. Like, watching them, a part of me felt very distracted. I'm forgetting that I'm watching America's Got Talent. I'm like, Thunder Down Under, PG.
Whoa.
That's funny because that's what I kept thinking.
Right?
Because you want to correlate those like buff men with Vegas, and the only thing that I can rationalize in my mind is being as close to naked as possible.
Yes, exactly.
Sorry.
So, like, when
But yeah.
Sharon is sitting there talking about they should be topless, wearing leather, I'm like,
Right
this
on.
woman
But
read
they
every
should be
woman's
wearing.
mind.
What are those little chaps where you don't even have your butt covering?
You
know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking
I think
about.
they should have those.
I mean, they would. They're so sexy that would fly. That would fly, and that's not my thing, but it would work out for them.
Well, talking about their clogging. So the clogging was actually really good,
Yeah, they
Really
were
good.
really good.
and they completely changed what my original, or my first impression was. It was kind of boring, but for whatever reason, I don't know if it was the bright shirts, and they were just
Yeah, they did upgrade
they
on their
they
clothes.
upgraded their wardrobe, and it was in sync throughout the whole performance, and it was correlating with the music. When I watched it, it reminded me of what Little Star didn't have. When she tapped,
Yeah,
it was kind of just all over the place, but they clogged, and when they clogged, it was going with the
all
beat.
over the
and
place. Yeah.
it was going with the beat of the music, and it had like a nice theme. And then you saw they did like the fight scenes and stuff in there, like trying to incorporate different elements to make it more interesting.
Oh, but that's the thing. Like, they also had really good music. Like, the music was unique for clogging,
Yeah.
right? And it felt like very American. Like, they were really
was
representing America really well, and I was just like fascinated by them.
Yeah, since Tim Poe failed to do that. No, I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
No, well, you
But,
know what? It's fair.
yeah.
It's fair.
Do you think that they have a chance of being the wild card?
I hope so.
I mean, Sharon said she wanted
There's
them,
only
but-
one.
There's only one. And no, please,
I
you know.
don't
I
know.
know which ones you guys
okay,
want,
we
but-
won't go there. But well, she wants Tim Poe.
No, you don't have a chance.
I don't know. All that, I don't think they're. Well, I mean, I don't think they're gonna.
Poe.
They can't be the wild card. I don't think so.
Why not? Why don't you think they can be?
Because it's a great act. Don't get me wrong. But thinking about some of the other acts that were eliminated, this just isn't the one. Like out of all the acts that are eliminated, why would you bring back the cloggers?
Because they're awfully cool.
I was like, where are you going with that?
I was about to use the F word.
Well, they got eliminated, and next we had Ulyses,
All right. Well, I think he
Well.
was better than Big Bear.
Yogi Bear.
What?
I mean, when you guys talk about that performance factor, that entertainment value, that is Ulysses right there.
Really?
Yes, I do think that.
We're on the same page as
Okay.
usual, correct?
Yes, because
Okay.
here's my thing. Ulysses he's dead in the face. like he just sings and he's on the piano and he's like, and he stands up.
How is
stands up
Big Barry not dead in the face?
because he's like living New York, New York.
Sing something else other than New York, New York, and then maybe
Birds in the sky.
You know how I feel. But with Ulyses, first of all, like Nick said, he was toothpaste fresh. Like, what was he thinking with the suit?
I love that. I loved his suit. I love that mint thing. It was cute, looked great on his skin color. Awesome. I'm sorry. I don't think he's worthy of winning. I would have been upset if he made it through, but he was entertaining.
Well, what do you think about what Howard said when he was saying, why did this guy make it through, and why did Big Barry make it through, and other acts that were more worthy could have gone through?
Well, sure. I agree with him when he says that, but I wasn't disinterested the way I was with Big Barry.
You were disinterested with Big
I
Barry.
know. I'm sorry, Big Barry. You're an awesome guy, but performance-wise wasn't my thing, personally.
Okay.
And
if you didn't check out our interview with Big Barry last week, it's on iTunes and
it is,
YouTube.
and he's really
amazing.
sweet guy.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
Well, Ulyses, I think the thing that was his downfall is, like Sharon said, he took away the sweater and the kind of dopey look that he had before, and he tried to turn into this Vegas look, and it just didn't work for him because that's not who he is. And then the other thing was, it was funny he had the wig on because his hair got cut.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sucked.
And I felt kind of bad for him because,
Yeah,
you know,
I've had bad haircuts.
I mean, that's
and,
the
ugh.
thing with with Ulyses. You feel bad for him, and
Yeah.
that's something that you don't want to feel when you're paying money to
Yeah.
watch
well,
someone.
also watching the judges criticize him afterwards, his
Ah,
face was
that
tearing
was
me up
horrible.
because he was like,
tearing us up, yeah. Oh gosh.
Well, I felt bad, and especially because he's older, he's not a child. Like, to break his spirit like that, I thought was really messed up. And, you know, with Howard, for me, and we all know, I used to like Howard. Now I think he's a huge a-hole. I think he went a little too far. Like,
He
he's
was
like,
kinda
oh,
mean.
and, you know, we have the economy, we have
That was
this, we
horrible.
have this, and now we have you. And it's like,
he
how
said
dare
terrorism,
you?
economy,
Yeah.
terrorism, and you.
That's really bad.
How do you compare his act, which, I mean, again, I'm not a favorite of it, but I mean, it's this act to terrorism. I thought that was so crappy,
Yeah.
and it wasn't even like funny because I laugh at mean things. I mean, obviously I
Yeah.
like South Park, so come on, but like it's a step too far when you are really hurting people's feelings, and that was so unnecessary. I thought it was a huge a-hole.
He looked
for
like he
doing
was
that.
gonna
I did
cry.
not.
Well, on
I
the
really
flip
did.
side, Sharon Stone. Excuse me. That'd be nice if she was on the show. But
Yeah, there you go.
Sharon Osbourne actually tonight, remember, she apologized. Said, "I'm sorry that I X'd you because that was your time to shine, and I shouldn't have X'd you. I should have let you finish it."
He's
Aw,
been the
that's so
only. I think he's been the
sweet.
only act that's gotten 3 X's from
Yeah.
all 3 judges.
I
in this.
agree.
Someone else did, but it was like too late.
Oh, delayed. Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
course, that was Howie because he wanted his
Right.
person to
But
go
the
a
thing
little
that
bit
bothers
further.
me is in this stage of the competition, even when they X them, they still can keep performing. So why would you even?
I
do those
love
3
that point that
X's?
you came up with. That's so true.
Because if every single judge X's, it doesn't stop them from performing because we still have to vote. So
Well-
after the first X, why not?
No, doesn't it? But if all 3 of them X, don't they have to stop dead in
Yeah.
their tracks?
yeah, of all 3 of them X's, they stopped
So
in
was
the
it that-
tracks, but
Was it that Howie just did it right before he ended?
Yeah, he
anyway?
did.
Well,
Yeah,
that
to
was just,
show like I don't like it, but I'm gonna let you finish because
Yeah.
that was Howie's guy, really.
But that was
we all
kind
know
of cruel. Though. You
Howard
could have just
generally.
let it end. Like you're gonna criticize him anyway. Just let it end.
and you can,
Yeah.
I mean, you can imagine how difficult it must be to perform, and then suddenly you feel like and I'm sure it's like overbearingly loud, and you got to keep going, like, and not lose concentration in your performance. I think that's really hard.
Well,
But you know, he performed well,
mm,
but he's not $1 million act.
Yeah,
no.
and that was his time
That
and
was
his
his time.
moment,
And he did good.
Moving on, yeah.
He fulfilled a dream, and
Mhm.
good luck to him with whatever he wants to pursue.
Yeah.
But somebody who really touched all of our hearts was Joe Castillo.
Ah,
And he's been touching our hearts from the beginning because each time, for those who don't remember, he's a sand art dude. Each time he tells a story in the sand, and it's something I've never seen before. And he has like the lighting under the sand so you can see, like, get the full image. And tonight or last night, he was telling the story of endangered animals, and
Yeah.
just the way he transitioned from animal to animal. Like sometimes, like he did one part, he did a lion, but then he took it down and started wiping away. I was like, oh, well, he's running the picture, and then turned to an elephant. I was like, oh.
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. I was like, when he made the elephant, I was like, how did you turn that into an
Right.
elephant? That was so cool.
It was really powerful, and I liked the message. And then at the end, he had the eye with the tear, and he said that was God's eye.
Yeah, I really
Yeah.
liked his message because I really felt like it was in depth. It wasn't like, oh, this is a human eye crying for animals
Right.
or whatever. It was like, this isn't our world, and look at what we've done, which I actually just went to the safari park, so it was like
Oh
really
my
in
gosh,
theme.
I want to go there.
Yeah, it's so cool. I was
Okay.
like channeling that, and so I really, really liked that message. But anything with animals, I'm sure we would like, so.
I know. But no, he was excellent, unique. I've never seen anything like it in my life. And I definitely think he has a lot more where that came from.
I do too.
And it's, it's not just the talent of making the sand and making pictures. It's the talent of making those ideas and making a story out of it and touching people.
Yeah, the emotional connection, yeah.
My thing is, I guess the only thing I was thinking about is, so I know they're restricted with time here, but can he turn that into like a full act where he's telling a story for all that amount of time?
I think he...
How would he do that?
How long does it have to be?
A Vegas act? Oh, I don't know. I haven't been to Vegas.
But that's the
Oh.
thing.
That's right.
I think that if he does become a Vegas act, there's obviously going to be help involved. They're going to embellish it. And he's going to be up the star, that whole idea. He's going to make stories, but it's going to be even better than what he's doing. Because right now, he's like purely on his own making these acts and performing.
Yeah.
Every single performer, they have like minimal help. But once they make it to Vegas, they're definitely going to have people being hired and help them do other things and make it look bigger. So I think he could be a Vegas act.
I can visualize like people on stilts, like the animal
Yeah.
theme, like
Yeah.
people on stilts, like very similar to what the Lion King, how they have, I don't know, maybe something in the background of some sort.
Right.
Well, luckily he made it through.
Yes.
And it was well deserved. I mean, when I made my predictions at home, I already said he was going to be one of the ones.
Yeah, you did.
I was a little nervous that if he might get 4th, 5th place, and then have the judges pick. But luckily, America made the right decision.
And he's so humble. I love it. He has like no cockiness involved. He's just very happy to be there.
Yeah.
Charming man.
Did you guys ever used to play with like the colored sand when you were little,
Absolutely.
and then like layer it and stuff
Just
to do
the
sand
bottom.
art?
Oh, yes.
Well, if you want to relive your childhood memories, you can go to AfterBuzzTV.com. There's an Amazon banner right at the top of that. If you want to purchase sand art, or what other acts do we have? Oh, clogging shoes. They make that. Clogging
Yes.
Shoes.
You can buy stuff. They have regular shoes, and you can attach clogs to them.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah.
Well, whatever you want to buy on Amazon, you can purchase that through the AfterBuzz TV banner, Amazon banner on our website. Takes you straight to the website. No difference, except we get a portion of the proceeds. We can keep doing after shows like America's Got Talent and South Park and LA Complex and all the other great after shows that we do here. And we really appreciate it, guys. So if you could support us and do that, that would be amazing.
Yes, please do. And we don't spend it on, jet-setting vacations or, Tiffany jewelry or anything. It's for the studio.
So we can keep our mugs.
Yeah.
Had a little water break there. Okay, so
That's okay.
next we have Sebastian Elcho, who was the mariachi guy.
Not impressed. But you guys go ahead.
Okay. Well, I don't know how you feel about it, Kyra,
Felt
but for
eyes
me,
poking at me.
I think it's the singing aspect to be 11 years old and have such a powerful voice. That's what got to me. And I don't understand what he's saying because I don't speak Spanish, but I can see the emotion in his face. And it was funny during the pre-tape where he was saying, I've never been in love, but I can sing about love as if I have been. That was kind of cute.
He's charming.
He is such an old, mature soul, and I
True.
really like that. If you guys watch Modern Family, he really kind of reminds me of like the whole Manny
Yeah.
person in there. And something that I really liked, he's like, "Oh, I can sing about real world experiences," and I'm like, "You're so cute. You're
Yeah.
like 11 or 10 or 11 or whatever, and you think you know about the real world." Oh.
Just wait.
I was just gonna say that if I could go back in 3rd grade, my life was
Seriously.
awesome. It sucks being a grown up. It really does. So yeah. Anyway,
That's our little therapy session right there.
thank you.
But he has a powerful voice.
He does.
It was just the wrong night for him.
I can agree with that actually.
If he was on last week's episode, he would have made it through.
I don't know how many people would pay money to watch him. Would you pay money to watch him?
I wouldn't personally because, like Howard said, when I think of mariachi, I think of those annoying people in like the Mexican restaurant.
I'm sure we all think, yeah, I mean, that's
Yeah.
fine. I mean, I think of that too, and it sucks that I think about that. But he felt like a really good carnival performance act for me. Really good.
I can see that.
You know what I mean?
Because maybe for Vegas, like we want something more magic or naked
Yeah.
men or something really weird, like Cirque
Uh-huh.
very-esque. But
He's charming and talented, and I think that it's only going to get better from here on out for him. But like the judges like to say, I don't think it was his time.
Yeah, and I think he will be very popular in the Latino world.
Yes.
He's already getting interviewed by a lot of Latino outlets.
Yes.
And I think he's really made a staple. But as far as, like, you know, the whole, like, American Pie, Vegas act, maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess all he needs is just to get a little bit of recognition so he can help his brother out.
Yeah, and that's all.
Yeah.
And I loved how at the end
And here
he
he got
was
that.
crying. That was so cute.
Yeah.
And at first I thought he was happy because they were giving him his praises. Because you know how, like, when you get so happy, you, like, cry because you're like, oh, I
Yeah.
did such a good job. And when he said he wanted to help his brother, oh my gosh. I mean, what a mature soul. And just for you guys that don't know, his brother has a hearing problem. So with that
Yeah.
money, he could have helped his brother. And I'm sure even though he didn't win the $1 million, he is still probably going to get gigs and endorsements
Yeah.
or what have you. So he will be making money so his brother can get surgery to fix his hearing problem.
I mean, this is
so.
anyone
best
going
of
on
luck to him.
AGT, life changing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Life changing, especially even the horrible auditions. But I mean, anyone that's made it to the semifinals, quarterfinals,
Right.
they've got a future ahead of them.
We just need to think of an act that we can
I
do.
know.
I know.
We'll be
Nothing? Okay, cool.
there. Oh, let's think of something.
We'll think of something. Eric Dittelman, what do we think about him?
I'll go last.
You'll go last. I feel like you've got some things to say about him. I like him. I'm a David Copperfield kind of chick. I like magic and tricks. We all know this is a trick, but it was entertaining nevertheless.
Okay, well, I'm a big fan of Deal or No Deal. Like I said in like
Huh.
the second episode,
That was
that's
a cool
where
thing.
that's where I was introduced to Howie, not Bobby's World, whatever that is.
He had hair during Bobby's
I still
World.
can't believe
Yeah.
that. I can't see Howie with
A
hair.
lot of hair.
A lot
like
of hair.
beautiful, thick, curly hair.
Just quickly,
It's
what's the show
beautiful.
about?
A cartoon.
Oh, it's a cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's
About a kid
cartoon
named
and
about,
human?
about Bobby's World.
Well, he's just human. Like, he's human in the beginning, and then he turns into, like, a cartoon. And then at the end, he comes back as a human
It's
as
like
well.
an
He plays
interchange.
Bobby's dad.
it on
Just
Netflix or
watch
anything?
it. YouTube. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'd look at that. Well, I'm a big fan of Deal or No Deal, so I was happy to see Eric was switching it up. Which he switches it up every single
He
time. He
does.
does something different, so I
Mhm.
applaud him for that. And they had the whole setup, the hot girls with the cases, just like the show. And he said, you know, I've always wanted to be a game show host, blah, blah, blah. And I was impressed because I mean, I'm sure you guys have some insight I can't figure out, but from what I saw, I still can't figure out how he did that trick, because even at the very end when Howie switched to cases and he still had saying that case number 4 is the case when he opened it, and then he had the envelope that had this is going to be the case or whatever. So how did he do it?
Oh, are things? Okay, well,
Go
you've
ahead.
got how he has number 4. I have a speculation of how he did the suitcases.
I think I know. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, what I think he did as far as the suitcases, and I'm sorry, Eric Dittelman, I am like so onto this. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
every time I was like, I know how he did, I know how he did. Is I think that there's a double latch.
That's what I
on
thought
the-
too.
Yeah, there's a double latch on the suitcases. So, if you guys are watching through YouTube as opposed to the podcast, you know, here's the case. When you unbuckle the cases, there's one latch where you all open it. That's how the girls do it. Any case it's like double. So he just takes out the extra latch, and it will say, like, this is your case.
See, like I thought of
You
that
thought
too,
that too?
but then, you know, all the way through, I was like, that's probably what happened. But then you see, and it says you chose case number 4.
Yeah, how do you do
You
that?
know,
guys?
how do you do
the
that?
thing.
And I think that is like similar to like a magic trick when
Mhm.
you with the cards when you put 3 rows on each side, and then that person always picks that card. And I remember my brother taught me when I was a kid how to do that, and I think that's how he did it. It's like a big table. The girls were all cards, and he was bound to pick number 4 somehow. But I don't really know the specifics.
Yeah, I don't know
But-
how he got the
yeah.
number 4, but that's what I think about the case.
I should look
latch.
into that.
Yeah, and I
I-
think it's, again,
YouTube
the
it.
numbers game thing.
Yeah.
I understand the numbers game, the card game thing you're talking about, but I think the only thing that's throwing me off is the very end when Howie switched to cases. That's the only thing I can't get past.
Well, if it's a double latch, it's with every single one.
But I'm saying like he switched to cases and then the card said number 4 too. I can't.
That's the
That's
one that
that's the one I
tricks.
don't get,
Yeah.
and that's where he gets me every time. Is he does like a little something, but no matter what, I will say again. Obviously, we all know it's a trick. He's not a real mind reader, of
Yeah.
course. And if he is, what am I thinking right now, Eric?
But look, he's
But-
he's entertained
but
you. He's got
he
you
is.
thinking. You know, he probably got you rewinding a couple times. Be like, what just happened? He's an entertaining guy.
I still want him to come here and read our minds.
Yeah,
I would love him to do that.
and magic tricks are huge
Yeah.
in Vegas. He can do a decent job in Vegas,
I think he's gonna do well.
and I would love to have him here on AfterBuzz.
Yeah.
I want him to read my mind.
Read
and
our minds, yeah.
what I really like about you, Eric, is that he covers everything, though. Because a lot of times you can really sense, like, this is how they did it. Oh, this sucks, whatever. And he really covers his tracks. Like, he is a perfectionist magician because he never lets us see how it's done.
I thought it was
So-
funny what Howie said is he said something to the effect of if you would have taken this talent and come on the show like 4 years ago, you could have won $1 million. You know what the case is, but
Yeah.
Eric made it through, and I'm pleasantly surprised. Not surprised, pleasantly happy.
I'm
that he
happy,
made it through.
Yeah, I mean, it was between him and the cloggers. I would have opted for the cloggers because of the hotness factor, and I just don't think when I see them, but I'm happy with
Yeah, I'm
both.
happy with Eric. I'm glad that was the judge's choice, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm glad they made that decision. The cloggers, they're great, but Eric's he's a Vegas act.
Maybe you
I
gotta
gotta
Yeah,
say that.
absolutely.
Woman to take the cloggers up that extra notch. Maybe it's a woman thing.
Just one chick in the middle,
You know, maybe
Yeah.
you just gotta be attracted to them somehow.
maybe.
So if
Well,
only one judge was gay, then it would have been totally
Oh,
different. Okay,
it would
anyway.
change everything.
William Close and the Earth Harp from day one.
Well, day one, amazing.
I have said from day one that was my favorite act,
Yep.
and
Uh-huh.
he is not disappointed once. I mean, it's only the second time we've seen him, though.
Oh, but I mean, like I've never seen an instrument like that.
No.
So every single sound, every time he touches it, you're like, what just came out?
So he has
every
his-
single note.
He has his Earth Harp, and then he has these spinning drums in the background. He has this awesome singer, and it was just like, even watching it through the television, I was like, oh.
Intense.
Yeah.
Intense. Yes. That is the one that we want to talk about. Talking about how it is amazing. What were we saying in the beginning? That the show there was an act that we wanted to talk about. This is the act.
Yeah, that was the act. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Where if you were sitting in the arena listening to that performance,
Mm-hmm.
it has, because if you have the Earth Harp going across, like, it has to be mind. He got a standing ovation for like 30 seconds.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you're incorporated
Mhm.
in the whole show. And on top of that, I really feel like, even though like I like Vegas acts, like the whole cheesy thing, that act is like completely sophisticated.
Oh,
it's
my
like the new
goodness.
opera or
That's
whatever,
a
or the
perfect
new
word for
ballet.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so sophisticated. I love that.
He's gonna go far.
He can do so many things with acts. There's so many different kinds of sounds, so many different angles of music, genres. He can have circus act go underneath him. He can have, the strings all over like the audience. I can't even imagine
He can even
what
have
he can do.
he can even have like real artists start coming in and sing. Like he can do
Yes.
arrangements for them and have them perform for one night only or something.
That's a very
That's
good
a
idea.
really good idea.
Look
I
at
can
that.
manage you.
AfterBuzz exclusive. You heard it here first, Emile.
I'm happy he made it through, and obviously he was going to make it through because one of the judges even said, you take the cake like you've won the whole thing already. I think that was
Yeah,
Howie.
that was Howie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's definitely gonna be in the finals. There's not an act like it, and I've never seen anything like it
It's gonna
before.
be him or the Olate Dogs.
That's true.
Oh, those
But-
dogs are really good.
They're
yeah.
they're pretty darn cute.
Different kinds of people interested in those kind of things. I'm torn.
I don't know because I'm interested in both, and I don't even
Right.
like animal acts. So.
Exactly.
Whoa.
Unity in Motion. Wrong night for them.
Wrong night for them. They would have made it through another night, but they eventually wouldn't have made it through with these acts that they
Right.
made it with.
It's they're talented, and the costume, the makeup, the staging. Which, by the way, I say this every week, but that stage is freaking amazing. Like what they can do with the background. But it was a great act. The way they balanced on each other and did all these crazy tricks. Yes, on another night it would have been a greater chance of them making it through, but survival of the fittest.
What was the act last week that made it through? The first act, was it Inspire the Fire?
Untouchable.
Untouchables.
Oh.
They were way better than the
Yeah.
Untouchables. That is prime example
I will
of what
agree
you were
with that.
saying, Kyra. Like, it's not fair. But
That's funny. We couldn't even remember like that who made it through last week because it was forgettable.
last week was the worst.
Yeah,
group.
I don't know why they did that.
That was weird. That was a little.
Maybe it's to
disappointing.
elevate this show even more, like this episode.
Oh, like the last for 3
Yeah.
weeks to keep us coming back. Yeah,
Because
you're right.
maybe we're like, oh my god, all these good acts are gonna be head to head with
That's
each
true.
other.
At the end of last
So
episode, we
what
saw
the
the
heck?
preview, and we were like, "Oh God,
Yep.
next
It
week."
was, yeah.
I mean,
it was antsy.
that
about
could
it.
be a gimmick.
Well, like we said, they were a great act, but it was just the wrong night for them, and
Wrong night.
they didn't make it through. But I'm not going to say that they necessarily have.
They have future going. Like, they can join.
They're all young though, right?
They're so young.
Yeah, and
So
they're
they still
very hardworking.
Yeah.
They have that dancer ethic.
So is it a dance troupe? Like, is it like a dance academy or something they're with, or?
I think so.
It must. Well, they said they've been dancing together since they were 2, but it's not really like dance, but whatever you want to call that genre.
Yeah.
Acrobats.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, tell us what you guys think about the elimination so far, and if you agree with the people who made it through. All we ask is that you go to iTunes, rate, comment, subscribe, but also share with a friend. You know, if you just tell one person they may like our show, and even if they don't like our show, we have so many different after shows here that they can listen to, and they can listen to, subscribe, rate, comment, and it will be much appreciated. And to make it even easier for you, Apple released the podcast app, which we all have on our phones, and the podcast app makes it so easy. All you have to do is download the app, and it literally organizes all your favorite AfterBuzz TV podcasts and any other podcasts you have, and you can do the same thing, rate, comment, subscribe, and that's all we ask of you. It really helps us out. And we're also on YouTube if you want to check that out too, but iTunes will help us a lot. So thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Eric and Olivia. I was disappointed.
I didn't like them in the beginning.
You did call it, but I was upset. I mean, I kind of had a
sorry.
feeling it would happen. I know.
We've been rooting from them because that first performance they did moves like Jagger, and it
I'm
was
kinda
like
smirking right
proud.
now.
I know. You have a great smirk, by the way.
I know,
So
seriously, I
cute.
can't smirk for.
Yeah, neither can I.
When I was doing my headshot, she was like smirk. I was like, but I was really upset because this is one of my favorites too.
Mhm.
And when they did moves like Jagger the first time, it was like, oh, like at first you didn't even know what song they were doing, and when they did this song, it was a horrible song choice, like Tayo Cruz.
Yeah, that was weird.
Dynamite. First of all, that song's overplayed.
It is overplayed. I will agree
It's
with you.
overplayed, and it's not even current anymore. That's from like a summer or two ago. So,
Yeah. Well, I think that was the problem. Is number one, it wasn't current at all.
Yeah.
well, but now that we say that, moves like Jagger's from last summer too. But for whatever reason, it was
It's
because
still
of
popular.
It just didn't fit
I
her
swear.
voice.
It-
It wasn't flattering to her voice.
it didn't flatter her voice, but it was the arrangement for moves like Jagger was way better than this arrangement. This one,
Exactly.
this is what I wanted. The guy last week who did Britney Spears
Oh.
Toxic. Was it
Oh,
Toxic that
Yeah,
he did?
maybe they should have switched.
If he would have done the
Oh
thing
my
that they did
God,
where
you're right.
where he did if he would have done slow, then speed it up to original pace and then slow it back down, and if they would have
Yeah.
stayed slow the whole time, I feel like it would have worked way better because they were trying to do it's like she started off with the nice raspy I throw my hands up in the air
Yeah.
sometimes, and then all of a sudden it's like hey, and I was like no, keep it like like keep it mellow.
Yeah, because I don't think it worked. I think what it was, and obviously I don't know them, so I don't really know, but this is what I think. I think that they really took what Howie said and that he kept insisting, oh, this is just a bar thing, this is just a bar or a bar lounge, whatever you want
Yeah.
to say. And they were like, okay, well, we'll like try to spice it up and make it fun, exciting, and it really didn't work. Like that's what it is. Stick to the basis, just like what they
Yeah.
said with Ulyses and who I'm sorry, I'm blanking out. The guy that said his liver was
Oh, Tom.
spotted and
Oh, I don't remember his name, but
endangered.
that was hilarious.
Whatever his name is. Again, don't listen to what Howie says. Stick with the basis.
Right.
Stop letting it get in your head.
Right.
But I will say, no matter what, her voice is like
It's the
ridiculous.
bomb.
It's real
She
good.
and for what she was working with, she made that song the best it possibly could for her voice. Like the highs, the lows, I don't know music that much, but yeah.
She did say that without her partner, she wouldn't be anything though.
Right.
So I really like that she said that. He does have a girlfriend, so that is why he's not dating Olivia.
Oh yeah. Well, I wonder how his girlfriend looks.
I
I mean,
wonder
who
why we're
knows?
just
She-
now finding about this alleged girlfriend all of a sudden.
Well, because
here
they
we
didn't
are
have time to
after
mention
Buzz
it during the
Skeptic.
no,
audition.
but no.
could've.
They made a big deal
know.
out of these two like not being together and all this stuff. Then all of a sudden, oh yeah, he has a girlfriend.
Well, I liked how he had a girlfriend, and it's like, Olivia, you're single?
Exactly,
What?
like you're so hot. Like how you not have anybody?
I mean, why not? Who knows? He might be so spectacularly talented that some hot ass chick wants to be
Yeah.
with him.
Or
We don't
maybe she's
know.
not hot, and maybe he just doesn't care. I
Yeah.
loved how Howard was like, yeah, his girlfriend wears an Olivia mask
I
every
know,
night.
isn't that so funny? That was so funny when he said that. And like some people might not. Maybe he doesn't find Olivia particularly attractive.
I don't think that's
I
possible.
mean, I think it's very possible.
He might not be into white girls.
You know,
Oh.
what if he has like a little Asian honey in there? You know.
Asian honey.
You don't know.
Well, I'm sure we're all excited about the Olympics coming up.
Mm-hmm.
And Lindsay Norton kind of gave me that Olympic vibe of what she was doing.
Yes.
And I don't necessarily know if it was a Vegas vibe that I was feeling from her.
What kind of vibe were you
Well,
feeling?
because when she did her performance, you know, obviously she's very flexible and she's doing like a lot of acrobatic stuff. And it just reminded me of seeing gymnastics at the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like she could have a career with that. But when you compare her to the rest of the acts here that are trying to go to Vegas, I don't know if she...
Yeah. And again, it's very difficult to be a solo act. I like how they put
Yeah.
the mirrors, and she obviously has a very pretty costume, but yeah.
Yeah.
She's a definitely like an AGT all-star performer. I don't know, like you guys said, how much more she can do. Like, flexibility is amazing. It's intriguing, and she has a lot of gusto and power. Like, she just gets up and she flips. Like, and you, like, I would have to run, like, really fast to even try to attempt that.
I just thought of something. What would be cool is if she incorporated some height to her performance where she's on a beam or something and then she like flips off and then does a roll or something, then flips back up and then hops upstairs or
Oh,
something.
that would
Like
be
something where you're
ridiculous.
engaging like the whole stage, because it kind of goes back with turf and
Yeah.
all these solo acts. You have this humongous, beautiful stage, and it's hard for you, this one single person, to fill up everything.
But the thing is, like, in my opinion, and this is a personal opinion, I think Turf as a single act was more entertaining because the music,
Yeah.
you can absorb it better.
Yeah.
The music, you kind of like get lost in it, like not in the same manner, you know.
Well, she didn't make it through, but she definitely has a future.
She does.
And she has to
have a
finish
future.
school, so.
Just finished school, and she had a bubbly personality. I like
Yeah,
that.
she
That
definitely had a
detail.
bubbly personality. Horse. I have nothing to say.
I know you like this
Okay,
guy.
we can move on. This is all I will say. I do like Horse. I love Horse. I've always loved Horse. This time I actually wasn't as like, oh my god, for whatever reason. I think it had a lot to do with I've seen it so many times. Like, there's only so many times I can see a guy getting hurt in his nutsack. Like,
Yeah.
that's
The thing
Really?
was,
I don't think he really did get hurt though.
the thing
You
was,
saw it, like slap
right.
his side.
I
didn't
noticed
see
that a lot this time, and he tried to do the whole superhero thing and add a theme to it. That was cool.
I did like the theme.
That was cool. But the thing that I noticed it too, the thing that bothered me with what they were doing, it kept hitting here or here or almost there, but it never actually. Every once in a while, it might have gotten there. But
I mean, and during the audition, I was interested like you were because it was like bam right there,
Right.
and it was hilarious for women. But seeing this time around, it was like it looked like Jackass on MTV. That's
wish
what it looked like.
for his act, it would have been funny since he had the superhero thing. If it was like superhero / comic book, and so whenever he got hit in the balls, if like a BAM sign popped
Oh, that
up or
would have been
something.
cute.
Oh yeah, that would
Good
have been.
idea.
They should hire you as
You
manager.
are really
She
good.
might have
I
possibly
think
made
about
through.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Very creative.
You
I
guys
like
should help me
that.
think of an act, and then I'll audition next year, and then
You could be the
Okay,
next
we'll
horse.
work on it.
Okay.
How about
Yeah.
Master Horse for you?
that would be a negative. Well, one of the other favorite acts of the night, Olate Dogs.
You guys know that
Yay.
was like my favorite act from the beginning.
It's way
Yeah, it
better
is.
than the Britain's Got Talent.
Oh
girl and her
my
dog.
goodness. I mean, if one mediocre chick with a dog can win Britain's Got Talent, these dogs can really take it.
It was amazing.
Amazing.
But the question I have is, what are they doing to these dogs to get them to do that?
How did they? Because what I'm trying to. Do you guys have animals?
Yeah, I have a doggy.
Okay, like the way that you teach them is like you kind of make them like sit or lay and then implement that. I wonder how he was even able to make that one dog do the
Run around.
backflip.
I
Or yeah, even that,
know.
the backflip thing. Because how can you teach a dog that? Do you lift your dog in
Yeah.
the air and make like? Because my dog has never done that.
How do you make
ever.
it land on its
Yeah.
back? I can't even
Like
do it.
my dog can't even fathom doing
Or
that.
go
so
up and slide backwards down the slide?
exactly.
Oh,
The thing
God.
that impressed me it impressed me was when I thought they messed up when the dog went up the stairs to the slide and
I
then he
thought they
came
did
back
too.
down and then he like started running around, but then he did those rolls. I
Yeah.
was like, oh god.
I thought they messed up. Maybe they did, but the dog fixed it up right
Yeah,
away.
see, I don't know if they
You
did
know?
or not. They still could have, but they never said anything.
Unless
Yeah.
that was in preparation. If that did happen, the dog knows when we run around 3 times and then you do your rolls. Maybe.
Smart. That is a smart dog.
Ah,
Smarter
God.
than children.
I was impressed last night also when one of the guys said, I said previously these are all rescue dogs, but they're not. I would be lying to you if I said that. Some are rescue, some are bred, some are taken from owners who didn't treat them right or whatever. So I like that he kept it honest with us.
I absolutely, and you know what? I like that you said that because that was the first thing I thought. I totally respected him for that. Because I mean, in the end, we probably would have never found out. No one would have looked
I
into
didn't
it.
really care, yeah.
No one, yeah, you're right. No one even cared. But I thought that for him to be honest, that says a lot about his
I mean,
character.
he had like what 30 seconds to say whatever he wanted to say, and he
And he
wanted
said
that
that.
disclaimer. I mean, that's heart right there. And to raise those dogs and be diligent with those dogs, I mean, it says a lot about them, and I really want them to go far.
I think they will.
I
so.
really do. I'm rooting
Well, I
for
want to
them.
know, did he say that? Was there an interview or something where somebody questioned him, or was that completely genuine?
I
mean,
didn't read anything.
I think it was. I mean, I remember in the audition he said most of the dogs, and I think like the judges didn't quite hear. So I think last night he was more or less just trying to make sure to clear it out.
That is really cool.
That's what I
Yeah.
think.
Because he never said all the dogs.
He
He
never
did
said. He
say
said
most.
He said most.
Which
in
they could
auditions.
still are most rescue
Right.
dogs from
Yeah.
people. So I think that's awesome. Good for him.
Well, they made it through. I'm excited to see. I guess this is our top 24? No, not 24.
16.
12.
Well, we had
Oh
4
my God, I'm
nights, so
horrible at math.
That's
16.
okay.
16.
Well, you go to Amazon.com and buy a calculator.
Buy
or
me one and send
whatever.
it to the AfterBuzz TV studios. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we have some exciting news and
Good
gossip.
news and gossip. Good news. They always are.
Hey there, good buddies. The handle's Woolly Bear. I'm a truck driving man, but I'm not that old school kind of truck driving man, no. I like to listen to podcasts while I'm driving through these great United States of ours. And my favorite podcasts in the world are from AfterBuzz TV. And why? Because AfterBuzz TV is like a post-game wrap-up show for all your favorite TV shows. Like Jersey Shore, Dancing with the Stars, Mad Men, and a whole truckload more. I like listening to my Gossip Girl podcast, catching up with all my fellow fans and getting all the latest news and gossip. No, I got some strong opinions. And AfterBuzz TV lets me share those opinions with thousands of other listeners. Woo-wee, what a feeling. I used to doze off on those lonely stretches of road. And don't worry, I got the cruise control. But now I'm wide awake and listening to all the AfterBuzz TV goodness. Check them out. Give them a holler. And tell them the old Woolly Bear sent you.
AfterBuzz TV News.
All right, guys, we have some exciting news and gossip for you. So Sharon tweeted that she's not returning to AGT possibly.
OMG.
And it was in response to what Howard said. Howard was saying that she wasn't. Oh, here it goes. Howard was saying that she wasn't responding or that she wasn't returning because of money. And then Sharon tweeted, "My darling fellow Judge Howard Stern said money is not the reason I'm not returning to the show. She said it's because ... And she never said
Right.
what it was. So then the NBC Entertainment chairman, Robert Greenblatt, he had a meeting on Tuesday. And he said this is coming out of context and sort of spontaneously. We don't even know what's going on, and it's probably much ado about nothing. And then an anonymous source said that Osborne has a multi-year contract with the series, so...
Yeah, I mean, she didn't deny or confirm the tweets. I read further into it, and there's a possibility that she was specifically talking about, like, she's at the Olympic Games right now, and she will come back early for AGT or something. But I think that there might be some underlying reasons why, if she doesn't come back, maybe she doesn't like to move to New York.
Or
Maybe
Howard
she's having
in general.
conflict with
Right.
the
Yeah.
judges. Who knows?
I mean, it has to be rough for Howard or for Howie and Sharon to fly from LA to New York every single week.
Well, they moved completely for Howard's $20 million paycheck
Yeah.
and
Just
him
for his
being a
schedule.
judge.
And do you guys think that it was worth the $20 million and to inconvenience two judges? Do you think that it's made that much of an impact on the show, or do you think that they could have lived without it?
I kind of think it did.
Howard, he was a good addition.
I can agree.
Yeah.
Only because it's been continuously #1
Yeah.
all season long.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm very, very proud and fortunate to be with you guys and be an AfterBuzz show with AGT with Howard Stern. I mean, he's really good.
Tearing up.
Aww.
And we have some other news. I'm sure you all have heard it, but Nick Cannon's wife, Mariah Carey, is going to be the new judge on American Idol.
That's going to be ridiculously
It's a
awesome.
great decision.
Now I want to watch a show.
I want to watch it too
Ditto.
because it's finally, not to, diss
No, you
J-Lo,
go ahead
but
and diss
Go
J-Lo.
ahead.
it's finally a real artist,
Thank you.
a real
Oh.
artist judging on the show. Like, it's freaking Mariah Carey.
She is the best.
Like,
She's
even
the
over
best.
even over Paula Abdul. I'm sorry to say, but it's Mariah Carey.
Paula Abdul was my idol when I was a kid.
Really?
Oh my goodness. I choreographed all these crazy dances to her when I was a kid, but She is not particularly talented the way Mariah Carey is. No
Absolutely,
way.
and she's gonna be good with the pitching and like how people sing. She's gonna be a
I
great
mean, she
addition.
has an ear for it.
The only thing I did read is that she was a guest judge on American Idol before.
She was.
And she was a bit of a diva.
I mean,
Oh.
when is Mariah Carey not a diva?
Yeah.
I mean, everyone knows what they're getting into having Mariah
Yeah.
Carey be an actress in the movie or singing with her, working with her anyway.
I mean, if they have Christina Aguilera on The Voice, then they can have Mariah Carey because Christina's a diva too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. And so was J-Lo, so
Yeah.
whatever.
And then some, I mean, not sad news, but
It's sad.
it's kind of
it is.
sad. AGT is going to be off for 3 weeks because of the Olympics. And they'll return after
America.
3 weeks. Yeah, go America. Like, that's sad. So please make sure you still tune in to NBC to watch the Olympics. And if you don't want to watch the Olympics, you can tune into the AfterBuzz TV after shows here. But we'll be back in 3 weeks to recap. And I think we're going to have YouTube auditions, right?
Oh
Yeah.
That's when the
And
YouTube
the
auditions-
wild card.
Yeah, and the wild card. So it should be a good episode. So I'm excited for that. But I guess, do we really have predictions? Not really.
Predictions. I predict that Kyra is gonna come with no makeup on.
Uh-oh. My people have been
Let's see
not
what else
doing
is there.
well.
What was my thing? I am going to wear a Big Berry
I love
shirt.
Big Berry shirt,
I
and
love
you were
Big-
going to come in a Speedo.
Got it.
Let's do it.
And how many of those predictions will come true? Oh,
And AJ will come back.
oh yeah, AJ should be back.
AJ
hopefully.
will return.
Oh, there
Yeah.
you go.
But where can we find you guys?
Oh, well, you can find me at KAORIOUS on Twitter.
Kaori.
And at Kyra Batte on Twitter.
And at Emile E Jr. And check out ChasingLA.com, please. Thanks, guys, and we will see you in 3 weeks.
Later.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.